Hi guys, it's Jeanette here from Far Forest Ceramics, my studio based in the UK, but I'm actually on a road trip. So this weekend was a weekend that's been planned for quite some time, where myself and Carol from Peony Pots are going to Whichford Pottery to go on a progression course to learn how to hopefully throw better and bigger. This is the beautiful accommodation that we booked to stop. So we're here for 2 nights. Carol and I have never met before, and we were so looking forward to this weekend, but unfortunately Carol's had some unexpected news and she's been unable to come. So literally the last 48 hours decision was made. She couldn't come for the weekend or come on the course. So we're both absolutely gutted, but we're going to get together and we're going to find another way of spending some time together to do pottery. So I've come on my own, and the sad thing was, this is Red Brick Barn, and I don't know if you can see in the background a gorgeous barn at the back. I'll take you up there. This is where we're stopping for the night, and I didn't really want to stop here on my own, so bless my mum, she's come with me. So let me take you up there. So this is the gorgeous barn that we're stopping in. I'm going to take you through the course a little bit, anything I can do videos of. But we found this, it's very unexpected to have it available, and we found it for 3 days, 2 nights. Beautiful barn. And Mum said, look, I'll come for the drive. It's about 1.5 hours for me, 3 hours for Carol. So we've got a gorgeous bedroom. Oh, you can't really see. Let me go and take you to say hello to Mum first anyway. So Mum's come to join me for the weekend, and she's going to spend the first day. So say hello, Mum.
Hi, this is tutor.
Who you're speaking to? All my pottery community, all over the world. So Mum has come to spend the couple of days with me. So she's here. We're going to spend the evening tonight together, aren't we? And then I'm off to the studio tomorrow for the first day of the lessons. And you're going to spend the day here, and then hopefully you're going to come to the pottery with me on day 2.
I love it. You know, I love your pottery.
I know, we have so much fun.
This
And
is so beautiful.
is that, let me sit down, Mum. The thing is, I only got back from Lanzarote 3 o'clock this morning. Got home 3 o'clock this morning, and so the same day travelled here. So this is about 2 hours all told after I went to pick Mum up to get here. So we're going to have a nice chill out night tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm anxious about the course tomorrow, I've got to be honest. Self-taught, so going to get proper lessons. First time in a community, never had that before. And I bet everybody's anxious when they go on a course, but I am feeling a bit anxious. Excited anxious, nice anxious. And then we'll have tomorrow night together, and then hopefully you'll come to the studio with me on the second day. Yeah, and the weather's beautiful as well. Look,
it's so warm.
look, God.
I mean,
Absolutely beautiful. Let me quickly take you in. It's so gorgeous in here. The views are stunning. So look at this place. Absolutely beautiful. All open plan, gorgeous bedrooms, and with the view from the bedroom. I mean, what a beautiful property. The beams, the arch. Oh, love it. And to have the sunshine as well in April. In the UK second bedroom, both have got ensuite bathrooms. Absolutely love it. So I'm hoping to be able to take some footage while I'm on the course. Don't know quite how much, but I will share the journey with you, how I get on, and whatever my finished pieces are. So, you want to say bye, Mum? See you soon. Bye bye. Cotswold stone, such a beautiful area. This is the Cotswolds, and it's quite a cloudy morning, but the little villages here are so cute. Beautiful stone cottages, little country lanes. Oh, I'm in my element in places like this. So beautiful. So Whichford Pottery is in a little village called Whichford. It's about 4 minutes away from here, and 7 minutes in total from the accommodation that we're stopping in. And apparently it's a small little countryside venue. So pretty. So we've arrived, we've pulled up, there's 2 or 3 cars here already waiting, so there are going to be seven of us on this course. Carol would have been the 8th spot, so it's quite a nice intimate group of potters. I can see there's some women in the cars either side of me. I'm just looking forward to being in a studio with other potters, but I've got to be honest, I'm anxious, excited anxious, a little bit nervous, because I think I'm going to be dreadful compared to everybody else. Self-taught, so many bad habits, but I'm just hoping by the time I go home after day 1 I'm feeling some improvement, because when I threw the week before we came away, oh, it was the worst I've ever thrown. Must be psychological that your head gets in there. So I'll try and take some snippets on the day as it progresses, but it might be a little bit hard if I'm all mucky and clay. But yeah, see you in a bit. So we are just at mid-morning break, and I'll show the studio. We've got 8 wheels, they've got the log burner on the go, just having a tea break, and I've actually been able to, I'm playing now, to throw to your limits. I've thrown my biggest bowl already, and we've only done an hour and a half, so we're using a grogged clay at the moment. I'm still in the middle of playing with this one, but we're using a grogged clay to start off with, and then this afternoon we're going to go to a stoneware clay. No, earthenware, sorry, but no grog in it. So clay is gorgeous to work with.
If you want any lumps, I can come and place it up for you. So if you just weigh it out, I'll just give it a bit of light. Right, there's some
Lovely, thank
nice
you.
stuff.
It's neither one nor another though.
Yeah, but tomorrow that'll look really nice. When you turn it over, you've got a nice shape inside. All this will come off, and you'll get a really nice auricular. It's kind of
I'm meant for doing that all the time.
yeah, it's just a really nice.
Can you just refresh me again on this centering, because
Yep.
I think because I'm losing my strength.
Yeah.
I'm struggling, so I'm
Yeah.
using, where am I going wrong?
This bit here, so you want to drive through the elbow,
To
through
here.
this.
So
yeah.
I'm using here, so it needs to be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's it. So it's kind of like that much sort of pressure there. Then that'll come up over the top. Keep moving over it, then go down 9 o'clock. There you go. That's it.
So I'm using the wrong part of my hand. I need to be down
literally
here.
it's like, imagine that you've just got a rod coming out of your elbow.
Okay, and I'm using there.
Yeah, because anywhere it's like when I say use your knuckle.
Yeah.
If you start using this, basically all the energy starts transferring away. It's all the way through there, as if that your bone is radius or your
Okay.
ah. Oh. Let's go over these. Probably those. That's it. Normally like that. That's it. But what I try and do,
Yeah.
if you watch my hands, that kind of like that. So
Oh, okay.
actually, all of this that you can see under there, it's not just there. It's like the whole thing, because then that enables you to push down. Now, as I'm pushing down,
That's
everything's centered, everything's keeping
Okay.
true.
it does feel more in control.
Yeah.
I'm shattered. But we're just having an afternoon tea break, and let me just show. So this is what some people have been throwing. We're changing with 2 different clays, one with more grog than the other. This lady is just amazing what she's done. So we're going to do turning and trimming tomorrow. These are mine. Just done 4 so far. And I think this one was 5 kilos. So that's the biggest I've ever thrown with. And this is one that he did. Was my inspiration. But getting there. So we're just having gorgeous cakes in the kiln room. Yeah. I'm going to sleep tonight. I'm absolutely going to sleep tonight. Shattered. And you're at the point when you've opened up and you've got really big balls.
Yeah.
Where do you go next?
What you want to do is, if you spin it round, is I'm going to use this part here, like that.
Right. Yeah.
It's this part. And then just going to push across and out.
Crossing up.
That's it. More, again, more back round here, so you're going to drive forward. Feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then as you come up, you can put this hand there, and that will just compress the top down as you're going up.
Can you
So you can
repeat,
be pretty.
can you repeat that again?
Yeah. And if you can, what you really want is to end up, go on, spin it a little bit quicker. Try and get it fairly even on that first pull.
So is that classed as your first pull?
Yeah, take that as number 1 and really go in number 2.
And then the same method with number 2 and then number 3 with the knuckle.
What sort of thing?
I can't thought that far yet.
Okay.
You're supposed to have thought that now.
So basically,
I'd like to do a plan.
you can go 1, so go sort of cylinder, slightly off cylinder.
Yeah.
And then what we can do on the last one, we can knuckle or do that. And then basically you end up doing that action with the inside of your hand. But when you get to that, put your hand up.
Okay.
That's just where you've got to be brave and with intention. Yeah, big right hand. So you can, right, so what you sort of want.
You've got to get it thinner with the palm of your hand.
Thinner. So you sort of feel the thickness of that.
Yeah.
Okay, probably go 1 more, but we're going to do a sort of Alibaba. This one I'm still going to go up, but I'm going to start putting a bit of shape in.
Still with the side of the hand?
Yeah. Well, I might use a knuckle. I'll probably use a knuckle on this one now. I'll stop about there, and then you can just collar in a bit, and then you can kind of, I'm going to keep this bit here present on the top of that rim there, look. But then I'm going to sort of pinch, and also with these 2 little fingers throw up, and as you can see I'm sort of tilting my hand down, so I'm trying to maintain on the top of that. And you can get that to roughly the thickness you want. Now I'm going to sort of belly it again. Just gently throw in and up. We can collar that in a bit more. Now I'm going to throw from here to about there. I'll probably use a couple more pulls than normal, but I'm really going to force that in. Throw up. This ribber here. Sort of chop some of this off it. So you've already done a bit of the turning for you. Now I'm going to sort of hold this on the outside and throw against this ribber. So you can just fill in that nice shape. Yeah, it's just sort of having a rough idea sort of what you want to do, because if then you wanted to bring that to a nice bowl, I've probably gone 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's just fun just playing around then. You just
Don't need no tools, just your hands.
yeah, exactly. Should we cut it up a little bit?
Don't cut that. I want that to follow. I want that as my inspiration of where I want to work to.
Alright, well then if you're going to follow that, we'll just sort the bottom out. Because really...
That gives me something to... Oh, I see, so you're taking the bottom there out. It's a beautiful shape.
Yeah, like that.
It's lovely. Okay. Would you level the rim?
Yeah, I mean, well yeah, what you can do is... Yeah, you could just chop that, or you could just not spin it anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you span it, if everybody bought a pot, took it home, put it on a wheel, I think everything's got a fault.
That's my inspiration. Nice shape. It's a very nice shape. Was that the, which clay is that one? The thinner one, yeah. No, I'm struggling with it.
How many have you got to do? 7?
I think as many as we can do.
Maybe 4, 2 days.
Probably 2 hours away.
Yeah, it is very, very nice.
Give you a workout.
Yeah.
Lots more. Flapjack, old in the browser with get mixed in with this. So there we go. So right, that's it. Yeah,
flowers as much as the pots.
Beautiful. Oh, absolutely gorgeous.
You've got to have the flowers to show off the pots.
Wow, is this all the clay?
Yeah, so this is normally we'll get through about 4, 5, 6 pallets a week.
And is that the pug mill in the middle?
That's the pug mill.
That's a beast of a pug mill.
Yeah, it really, I'm not even sure you can, don't even know where we got that from like 30 odd years ago, but yeah, you can't really get them like that anymore. Obviously it goes from there into here, so this is the blunger, so in there's just a load of blades, and that'll just mix it up into, it hasn't actually been going yet, but it's kind of a bit of a gritty sludge. It's still got some of the stones in it. It's got to spin round for a good sort of day, half a day. And that hole down there is probably like 15, 20 foot deep.
Really?
So it will come on the top, and then this pipe here, whether it somehow goes round and down, sucks out right from the bottom. So you're always taking the old and putting the new on the top.
Okay.
And I think the longer you can leave it in here, the more sort of plasticity it builds, and you get these like bacteria and and basically that's what helps stick it all together. So once it's gone through there, it then gets sucked up through this pipe. If we go back over that way, and go back up to that press, the big red machine at the end that roll it together. So basically, it's going to be a bit noisy, but so the pipe comes out of that wall there. What that does just vibrates so quick that all the tiny grit, all the sand and the tiny bits of stone fall off the end.
Okay.
And then trickles into here.
Right.
Your sort of Willy Wonka chocolate. So if you have a look in there.
Good God, that's deep.
Yeah, again, that's
That's
quite
a big
deep.
fat. No one wants to fall in that.
No,
There's
it
a
doesn't look
ladle
enticing.
somewhere. Let me get the ladle.
Oh, there's a ladle. Of course there's a ladle.
Very nice ladle.
Oh,
So from there. So that, this is that's like a different clay.
Oh, okay.
That's what's on there.
So from that,
Good fruit.
you'll just get
Yeah.
perfect slip. Willy Wonka.
ah.
Again, it will get pumped from the bottom. Fresh stuff will just drip in the top, up through that pipe, and then it will go through the hydraulic press, where it gets forced through all these sheets all the way up to the end. I forget what pressure it goes up to, but it's quite immense. Then basically when you unlock that again a couple of days later, so clear water comes out,
Yeah.
and you get left with like a paving slab sheeted up in between each one. Fold them up onto the trolley, and that goes through a pug mill on the left into squares, and then that'll stay on the pallets. And if you keep it 2, 3, 4, 5 months on the pallet before you use it, it's kind of good.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to use it a bit more if you get lots of orders. So we try and always keep what we've got, like ones for a month's worth.
Yeah.
And then it goes through the big pug mill, out onto the trolleys, like this, like we had earlier downstairs. Sort of £30 lumps, and like I guess one girl get through 1.5. You might get through 2 of those in a day, depending on sort of scale and size. And then it goes in here. And up in there. One of the rooms where it's fairly clear at the minute because they'll have put everything on the trolley, which will go to dehumidifier like the weekend, sort of Monday. The decorators down here, and these are all the different moulds for all the different pots. So, Cowscot pot.
That's nice.
Oh, these are for Burberry shop. Have a look at that.
Oh wow.
And then these are all the different sort of moulds and stamps. So that will get put on the outside of a pot, and you push from the inside, and you'll get left with varying different designs.
Oh, look at this one! Look at this one! It's huge! It's impressive, isn't it? That's got to be 4 foot tall.
When you throw the pot down, someone catches it.
No.
You don't see it.
You throw it down the hole?
Well, not that one quite fit.
No, not a big one. They got a lift through another hole. You bring a lift
little
up here.
ones.
But anything
They
that's
open that
sort
up
of
and
here,
throw the pot down and somebody catches it at the bottom.
Yeah, you just sort of hold it over and drop it, and then they just catch it.
How many has been dropped?
There's probably a few have been dropped over time, but not many.
No, because if that came at you, you'd want to bloody catch
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Sort of park the car in it, till there, ready to go on tomorrow. That's got some things in it.
There's a lot of kilns.
Jim and Dominic do their bits in there, so that's sort of their 2 kilns. This big kiln's just gone on now, and that'll be ready to unload Monday. Tend to put like the biggest stuff in, so it can go up nice and gently. And yeah, just more pots dumped ready to put in next week.
Good morning. So it is the morning of day 2. And I'm not afraid to say, oh my goodness me, I am exhausted. Came back yesterday. I was too tired to even talk. Like my mum said, I've never known you speechless before. Wasn't a case of speechless. I was just so exhausted. I must have got through at least 40 or 50 kilos of clay. Just throw it away, push the limits, throw it away. And then just kept 4 pieces in the end. Today apparently they're going to try and dry the pieces we made yesterday, and then the ones that we kept, and then we're going to do some trimming and turning, maybe use some oxides and some slip, and any spare time we're going to do some more throwing, trying to hone in the technique. So it was very unusual for me to be in that sort of environment, because I'm always used to being on my own. And everybody's different levels, different abilities, so no pressure from that aspect. One thing I did find interesting though was the different clays that we use. So we started off, they're both earthenware, we started off with a grogged earthenware, which I felt like it was ripping my hands to pieces. It wasn't, but I'm just so used to using a smooth clay. So it was really hard to get used to the grit, and a lot of other people had the same sort of like reaction, but it was beautiful and soft. It's a clay that they mix themselves. You might have heard in the footage I've inserted before this how they make the clay themselves. The clay they make, they've actually bought the ingredients enough for 35 years. So that's quite funny, isn't it? Oh, bless Mum, she's getting breakfast ready for us. And the clay we first used was this grogged clay, and that was beautiful to throw with. I've thrown bigger than I've ever thrown. I think I got to, with building pieces up on top of each other, I think I got to 6 kilos. I think so, 5 or 6 kilos, something like that, building up on top of each other. So I've thrown the bigger pieces that I've ever done before, and that was brilliant. And then after morning coffee, we slipped to a different clay which had sand in it, not grog, so it was smoother on the hands, but it was so firm, so stiff. I got quite deflated because I couldn't wedge it, I couldn't move it, couldn't throw with it. And until I heard that everybody was having the same problems, I didn't feel so bad. And then our tutor, he had a go with the clay on the wheel. He said, no, this is stiff. It should have been a different setting on the pug mill. It was too stiff. So 90% of us switched to the grog clay, the one that we used to start off with, which was just like so lovely to throw with and stable, and it didn't flop. And I didn't notice the grit. It's almost like it's just what you're used to. So I've learnt that the clay is definitely having an impact on how big I can throw. So when I use my Millennium White stoneware at home, it's very floppy, very smooth, but there is zero grog in that. And so I'm going to, find a clay that's got grog, but maybe not too gritty, for when I want to throw bigger. But that was interesting to learn, and I've honed in now some of the techniques that I was getting a bit muddled with. Lois's tuition a couple of weeks ago was a massive help, and yesterday it refined my techniques more in alignment with what Lois was showing me. So yeah, interesting first day, but wow, are we all aching? Wow, everywhere was aching, but I'm surprised how this morning I'm not aching as much as I thought I would. So we're going to go into day 2. We've got about an hour and a half before we need to leave. We need to check out this beautiful barn, and then head over for the day. And they're so kind. They've said that my mum can come inside the pottery and sit by the side of me and spend the day in the studio with us, because she was going to wander around the pottery shop and the garden centre there, which she still will do, but she can come and spend the rest of the time, have lunch with us and what have you. So I'm pleased about that, and it's been so lovely to have Mum here with me and enjoy the day, especially come for the tour that we had last night. I popped here, picked Mum up and drove back again in a tea break, because it was only 6 minutes away. So she was able to come on the tour around the kiln shed and the works behind the scenes. So we might get to see a little bit more behind the scenes there today, I don't know. Sorry for the long introduction of day 2, but it wasn't so easy for me to talk whilst I was throwing yesterday. So let's see how day 2 goes, and I'll share some updates if I can. Bye.
So this is just like a good practice, gets you warmed up, but also gets you into that feeling, the rhythm of just the clay sort of moving itself, but you're sort of guiding. You're just doing the centering, and then go in. So this is just to make a bowl, so I'm going to leave enough for the base, enough for a foot ring. So it's kind of that pinching technique, but rather than keeping it in and going across and up for a cylinder, I'm going to sort of push my thumb in like that, where the clay will lift up there. So now I know roughly I've got my foot ring where it'll be ready for tomorrow. And then I'm literally going to pinch, which will sort of hit the back of this part of my hand. And this hand here will just sort of help and guide in case it gets a bit of a wobble. So I'll try and do it without. So I'm just going to pinch. And then as I pinch, I'm just going to sort of bring it up to my chin and my chest, depending on what part I'm going to make. There you go, just practice that, get rid of it, put another one, and eventually it'll just start flying. If you get a real nice one, you can have another Put your fingertips in. Have a little throw. Like I said before, as long as the inside looks half decent and sort of followed the shape you want, don't worry too much about the outside, because something doesn't look right. It's not supposed to look right until tomorrow. And then a pot that you're really not happy with tomorrow, you're like, oh, actually that's all right. And there you go. So just practice that. Get rid of it. One pull. Get rid of it. Have about 10, 6 or 7 balls lined up. Just get in the rhythm. Eventually, out of those 7 or 8, you'll probably get one where you'll be like, that's what I'm after. And that's what you've got to remember. So a little one. So you go like that. And I'm making the bottom. And as I pinch, it lifts. And this hand is just sort of making sure I'm in contact with the rim.
Okay.
So as I pull it out and up, like because it's small, I'm just using this bit of my finger. So as much as you're always lifting the clay up, you want to have some sort of contact and sort of trying to stop it coming up. You're sort of gently pushing down as it comes up. You're always sort of recentering the rim as it comes round.
So is your left hand touching the top as well?
Yeah, here.
Okay.
At any point you can get contact with your body, the wheel tray, your hands. So yeah, basically I've got this hand here. And sometimes as I do go up, sometimes I'll just put that little finger up there. But again, that just comes through the more you do it and the
just
more
repetition.
you get comfortable. You just stick that hand out, the finger out there or whatever. So as many points of contact as you can get. Sometimes you can pinch it up. Just use this part here or that, whatever sort of works for you really. Just try and maintain as much sort of, and then you feel like that aeroplane wing going to land. Your body's just always adjusting as it, and it's keeping it like the duck. You know, it looks cool on the top, but the legs underneath are like.
I'll try and breathe today.
And breathe. That does help, definitely. Yeah, just practice that, and that just gets you in a nice rhythm, gets you warmed up.
Okay.
And you can.
So you know, I just want to make sure I've got my hands in the right way.
Yeah.
So when you're opening up, because you're going to be pulling with this hand, would you open up with the left hand?
Yeah,
not
left
the right?
hand is always on the bottom, right hand on the
See,
top.
I'm doing the wrong opposite way
So
around.
if you do that way, often when you go in, that will just start catching.
Okay, so
when you do
left
it that
hand
way, everything flows around these fingers nicely, comes out the other end.
So you put your little finger in as much as you can to flow it?
Yeah, yeah, normally I touch with all fingers.
And this is the one that's guiding?
Because as you're pushing down with all of that, you basically, that shape there, naturally starts to make the bottom of your bowl.
So actually I need to move slightly.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And then as you, that's it, just pull towards you.
Towards me, not
that's enough. Then you bring that wrist back round there. So all of this is touching. Remember that yesterday?
Right, yeah.
So again, you've got to come further round. That's it.
Okay.
Now really pinch, just pull it towards you, bring this hand here. That's it. Just really go for it. Go on, really pinch, just bring it up to your chin. Go on, quicker, quicker, quicker.
Oh, quicker.
So you've gone out, you want it to come up a little bit there. Yeah, it's just.
I've gone out and I want to come up.
Again, just do it, just go for it. So squeeze and go.
Faster wheel or slower wheel?
You can, no, that would have
been
maybe a little bit quicker.
Right.
But it's just do it, really pinch and just really move your hands.
But instead of going here at the side, I've got to come round to here.
So.
And that one's guiding there.
Yeah, if you stand up really quickly.
So I don't want to practice alone and then you come to me at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is after I've got the chance.
So, there's your centre. So I use all these fingers kind of, look. So as I go down, that's here, here.
Okay.
And then, because then you're just gonna, there's the bottom of your bowl.
Right.
Then I push this in. So as I push this in, it's gonna hit this little finger. So I push that in like that, and it's hitting all here. Then literally,
so
this is a stabiliser. Yeah, 6 o'clock. Then I'm literally pulling it straight up towards me.
Okay, brilliant.
So get rid. Have another one, but just like I was trying to say, most of this is actually me just doing. Really, because it's better to go too far and and come back a bit
Rather than never going
than
forward.
me keep going, go on, go on, go on, go on. Because you
Okay.
get a little bit nearer, a little bit nearer, a little bit nearer, a little bit nearer. Whereas if you just really go for it, you'll feel it move, and at some point you'll just keep remembering that feeling, because that's basically
Right,
all
thank you.
pottery is.
Oh yes, one pull. One pull, it felt good.
I need to get better, like yours are going more. Like mine are more.
Well, that's what he told me I was doing wrong.
What was it?
So he said, pull towards you, because I was
Yeah.
coming out at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and when you pinch, go hard and pull upwards rather than towards you.
Okay.
And then he said you can, depends obviously the amount of clay and if you're going for a wider rim, but then you can always take it out afterwards,
Yeah, you can.
but go upwards, otherwise
What do you do with your, how are you handling your second pull?
on the second pull, I'm doing I think more, look at that mum, single pull, one pull.
Oh,
I know, so now because this is quite thick I'm going to do a second one. So pretty similar, but slightly 5 o'clock I think I'm going to go.
good. I missed
I know for a first one.
Like a cylinder. So this time I'm just keeping it nice and just use your rubber. Just do a sort of simple cylinder so you can see. And basically, bit of that. Put that on.
That's the ash one, isn't it?
That's the ash one. What you might
Oh,
want
and
to do
then
is
you
just,
Which means what? It'll be.
it'll come out, it's like a sort of bluey, slaty,
Yeah.
so it might be something there. No, it's gone. Yeah, it comes out quite nice, complimentary. Then we just put on your, so I'm just going to apply even pressure.
Mm.
Oh,
There
very
you go.
nice.
Or you can just put these ones on.
It does.
Fantastic.
Also, you can just sort of mess
What
about with
a
them.
transformation from just something so
This
simple.
one looks quite good.
Wow.
Yeah, just have a little play about, really.
The Egyptian there.
Thing.
You always put it on when freshly done, not leather
Well,
hard.
you
Not leather hard.
can
Or,
you can put it on and do it the other way, and then scratch it back, so you get left with the colour in the dents.
Oh,
So you can do that, but yeah, obviously you need to do that right the next day. But yeah, you can just paint the whole thing if you'd rather.
Fantastic.
And then you can it's really fun to mess about there. Sometimes you might do it the next day. Sometimes certain roulettes are applied better when it's slightly firmer, so some of them will put the colour on, or we'll actually do it the next day, leave it off the wheel for a day, put it back on the wheel, and then put the roulette on. Because some have like quite intricate words, so you don't want to get them all
Smudgy,
get a bit
yeah.
of mash.
Yeah, yeah.
So when we saw yesterday, some of the pieces had got lettering all around the outside. Is that done with a roulette, or is that
That's
done?
just done exactly the same. That's done.
Wow.
It's a bookbinder's tool for putting gold leaf on the spines of books.
Oh wow.
But we just use it for Whichford.
But you've got to be quite confident using that to be able to get.
Well,
Just hold it
it's just the
steady,
same, but
yeah.
often you just
Yeah. Go.
do it on
Wow.
the inside or whatever. That's not a very good one, but but yeah. But those ones, if the clay's too wet, then the wording you can hear it's like a
Yeah, yeah.
And it just gets a bit mashed. So sometimes it's better on the next day.
Gosh, that transfer.
As you can see, there's like the widest part is here. But because I'm going to lock my arm in here, as I tap it, I'm not actually tapping it across, I'm kind of tapping it back on myself. So every time it just is about to go past, then you hit it. Like that. So if it's off, so every time it's gone past, so it's like hit, hit, hit. So then I hit it.
I ain't gonna be able to get that.
But you just got to not think about it and sort of look here, and you'll see it come round, round, and as it's round, go to hit it.
But your arm's locked on your leg.
Yeah, I'll always just lock an arm in, so let's just put it there. Round, round, so as it's just going past, I'll hit it, because I'm sort of hitting it back on itself. It's just a feeling, just sit there for an hour, and eventually you'll just, and obviously then as you go to like little tiny pieces, I'll just use like that finger, because obviously you don't want so much energy being transferred. So again, it's just, you put your hand on the top. It's just practice, keep doing it. So, see this is one a bit firm, but again, you shouldn't have to spend too long, we'll just do a sort of rough. So obviously this part I know is kind of how I want it, so I'm just going to take away up to the foot ring. And again, you just, that's actually not too bad, that's fairly similar sound. Once you get used, depending on what sort of clay you're using. So then, again, as long as the wheel's going quick enough. And you have an idea in your head of what you want to do, because obviously that's where the confidence comes in. Yeah, should be about it. A bit from there.
Just like that.
So yeah, you shouldn't need to spend too long, because you just sort of pop it off. And
So was the wheel slightly wet
yeah,
when you put it on?
I'll just lost my sponge. There it is. So normally I just wet the sponge. That's about enough. A little bit on there. And once you,
So it's enough to slide it, but
Yeah.
it's not going to fly off.
just tap it on, and then you can just
Oh.
give it a little like that. That's it.
Okay. So this is the first piece I did yesterday. They've been drying overnight, and now we're going to turn them with tap centering. That's going to be fun. Why has that got such a big frill? That's the way we throwed them yesterday. We didn't spend time refining them on the wheel.
Probably, don't know. Hold on the outside, that's what push the roll back in. Check your cotton.
Did Kath see this then?
No. I don't think so.
Blimey. What will that do?
This fire's a blue colour, I believe. Never done this before, so I'm just trying.
Oh, I say.
Got to put less pressure on.
Right. I'll be buying those tools next.
And then that just stops.
That's the way it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, it's like when you throw it, you've got to tuck in, bracing with everything. That's why it's good to like make 10 or 20 something the same.
Yeah.
So then you get a bit of a return.
Well, it's the end of the second day and Mum and I are in the car now for the journey home. An hour and a half to Mum's and then another 35 minutes for me. Yeah, I got clay all over me, but oh, I've had a blast today. I have had a blast today. I've really enjoyed that. Hopefully you've seen all the footage that I'm going to try and do my best to edit, but I'm on a high going home. I'm now remembering so many things that I've learned, and I can't wait to put this into practice. I'm quite surprised how much I like working with slip, so that is something I think I'm going to play with more when I get home in the studio. But we've got to wait 3 weeks now for them to fire the pots. I've asked for all of them to be done in a clear glaze. So I've got my 5 pots that I finished that are through yesterday, and there's 2 I did today and just mucked around with some slip. I'm not really bothered about those, but he said he'll just put those in the kiln for me as well, so I'm chuffed about that. So I'm coming back in 3 weeks, so I am going to film when I come to collect them, which that will be following shortly. So thanks for following and joining, and see you again soon. Bye bye.